This is how they lined up then for the women. Lancelot was on pole from Maria Franca. Pampamaya was third. And Steffi Lai fourth with Chiara Fontanesi fifth. So it was the first pole position for Olivia Lancelot. Race one was won by Larissa Pampamaya on the Teka Europe Suzuki from Steffi Lai at number one, a defending champion. Olivia Lancelot was third, Franca fourth, Fontanesi with fifth, with Natalie Kane sixth. This is race number two. And Steffi Lai out in front, being pushed by the number 8, Chiara Fontanesi on the Yamaha. See somebody going straight on there, Ellen Mann, and then all kinds of drama going on in the background there. 3, 4, 7 or 8 bikes going down through that first turn. But Steffi Lai leads them. She's got Fontanesi behind her. A lot of water gone down on the circuit overnight and early hours of the morning because conditions were drying out pretty rapidly on Saturday towards the end of the day with the MX-1 qualifying sessions. So the circuit was ripped back up again. And as you can see, a lot of lines have been created. There's also 1 or 2 soft spots as well. Third place there is Livia Lancelot. But Steffi Lai, though, a little bit wobbly, and she goes down, and she has to try and avoid. I tell you what, she took a face full of rear wheel there from Chiara Fontanesi's Yamaha as well. And look at that, the swing arm is just pure clean, ripped off the roll-off cartridge from the side of Steffi Lai's goggles. So that's going to cause 1 or 2 problems for her a little later on in the race, that's for sure, especially with conditions as they are at the moment. Muddy, heavy, and very tricky as well. So Olivia Lancelot then is in second position, trying to close down the gap on Chiara Fontanesi on that Yamaha. Third is Larissa Pampamaya on the Teka Europe Suzuki. So winner of the first race on Saturday, Pampamaya now got her eyes set on the former world champion, Olivia Lancelot. There's Natalie Kane, she's in fourth on the HM Plant Red Bull UK KTM, although making a slight bobble there, the number 44. But here's a battle for second position. Fontanesi away with it at the head of the field at the moment, but Lancelot on the XDI KTM there, 114. Getting held up by Miranda Barkan on the KTM, on the Digger KTM. But the riders in second and third, Lancelot and Pampamaya having to go either side of that back marker. Pampamaya now in second place on that Teka Europe Suzuki. Can she do anything about the lead that Chiara Fontanesi has, though? Well, she's closing down every single lap here. And there's a big German crowd here, not only here to support Larissa Pampamaya and Steffi Lai, but also Ken Roxon and Max Nagel and MX-2 and MX-1 respectively. Oh, a little bit wayward there for Fontanesi. But look at this, final lap. Larissa Pampamaya, just 2 corners to go from the finish. It's going to be a drag race going out of that final corner. A back marker gets in the way. Bryndis Einarsdottir from Iceland. And Fontanesi number 8. Is she going to hang on here from Larissa Pampamaya? I think she does. But just by the skin of her teeth, 900ths of a second in it between Fontanesi number 8 and Pampamaya there in second position. Well, that's how the race finished. But Pampamaya will win the Grand Prix. Overall, from Livia Lancelot, Steffi Lai 4th, Maria Franca 5th, Natalie Kane 6th, Demol 7th, and Ellen Mann 8th. 9th was Elian de Winter, and Sarah Pedersen was 10th. Overall in the championship, though, Steffi Lai continues to lead. 40 points she has over Livia Lancelot. Pampamaya 3rd, Fontanesi 4th, Franca 5th, Natalie Kane 6th, Demol and Mann rounding out the top 8, with de Winter 9, Nachera 10th. KTM continue to lead the way in the manufacturer standings. Suzuki 2nd, Yamaha 3rd, and Honda and Kawasaki following up there in 5th. But Larissa Pampamaya victorious here this weekend. Livia Lancelot 3rd overall. 2nd overall, Chiara Fontanesi. But Larissa Pampamaya saving the best till this weekend. Took her first race win on Saturday and rounds off the perfect weekend by, okay, maybe not quite the perfect weekend. She took 2nd in the second moto, but she gave Chiara Fontanesi a close run at the finish. And she is the overall winner here on home soil in Teutschenthal, round 5 of the FIM Women's Motocross World Championship. Here's how the riders lined up for MX-2 then. Hurlings on pole from Roxon in what was an absolute cracking qualifying race. Frossard 3rd, Van Horbeek was fourth, with Simpson, Osborne, Muscan, Tonus, Paulan and Roland down there qualifying in 10th. It was a hard race for Marvin Muscan, having a gate bounce on him, and he had to, well, he gated 8th, finished 7th, and that's where he started from. But Marvin Muscan, though, you can bet, is going to be a different rider today here on race day. Hurlings, though, with the whole shot, and Van Hoorbeek getting bounced all over the place there between Sean Simpson and Marvin Muscan, who moves it into second position. Hurlings leads, though, but Roxon around about 4th or 5th place. So we have the 111, Jeffrey Hurlings from Marvin Muscan, number 1. The 89 of Jeremy Van Hoorbeek in 3rd. And just behind them is the 94 of Ken Roxon on the Teki Europe Suzuki. But look at this, Marvin Muscan putting the 7th place qualifying way behind him and moves into the lead up the inside of his teammate, 15-year-old Jeffrey Hurlings. But listen to the noise of the crowd. Ken Roxon is on the charge. He's in 4th position, but first he's got to do something about the CLS Kawasaki, number 89 of Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. Oh, having a bit of a problem passing Sean Simpson, though, first. So now Roxon is in 4th place. Simpson now 5th. The CLS Kawasaki of Stephen Frossard now in 6th position, 183. Following Simpson around the outside of that turn, just ahead of the city banner. And Roxon, just listen to the noise as he pulls through the valley at the bottom. But look at this, challenging for 2nd position. Hurlings going to be losing out, yes he is, from the number 89 of Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. So Muscan leads then, Van Hoorbeek 2nd, Muscan 3rd, Roxon 4th, Frossard now 5th. We've got a rider stranded on the hill there as Roxon continues to harass the 111. There's Simpson and Tonus and Gauthier Paulin. So they're in a nice little battle for what, 6th, 7th, 8th place. So we've got both the Teka. Oh, and Hurlings is out. So Hurlings has got a problem with that KTM. So he was running up there. Oh, and look at this. Simpson all over the place, challenging the number 94, Ken Roxon, for that 5th place, right in the dying moments of this race. So Simpson's going to go down and out, but will he be able to pick himself up? Well, Marvin Muscan certainly having no problems picking himself up from qualifying yesterday. As he rounds out the final couple of corners, and he's going to take the checkered flag in this opening moto. Behind him, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek on the CLS Kawasaki, having a good ride there, just about 5 seconds back of the defending champion. Stephen Frossard, the teammate to Van Hoorbeek, having a good ride as well. So 2 Kawasaki's on the podium, but it's going to be a win and 25 points for Marvin Muscan. A big cheeky whip there as well, having a look back to see where Van Hoorbeek was. Osborne was 4th, Roxon 5th, Tonus 6th, Paulan 7th, Roulance 8th, Simpson 9th, and Jake Nichols 10th. In that opening encounter. Kunze Fonsana had 11th from Christophe Charlier 12th. Martin Machek on the TM was 13th. With Harry Kulas 14th and Valentellier down there in 15th. Ahead of the Russian, Tonkov. MX-2, race 2, and Stephen Frossard up the inside on the CLS Kawasaki gets a good start, but so too do the KTMs yet again. And it's Sean Simpson who grabs the whole shot, number 11, followed by his teammate Jeffrey Hurlings. Roxon in there in about 4th position, goes around the outside of Frossard though, and knocks the Frenchman back into 4th place. So Roxon now in 3rd as they go around turn 4. The tabletop, oh look at that, Roxon whipping it sideways, scrubbing it all off there as he goes around the outside, does he? Well, he tries on Jeffrey Hurlings, but look at the drive he gets there. Muscan up into 4th place as well, so he too has passed the Frenchman of Stephen Frossard. Roxon up the inside though, gets good power on the sand section and goes to the inside immediately and gives Jeffrey Hurlings absolutely no say in the matter, and he goes through into 2nd and challenging Sean Simpson as well for the lead. And all this on the first lap for Ken Roxon, and look at him just switching his lines, looking for different opportunities. He goes around the outside of Simpson in that long right-hander, and he does it again round here in the left. Will he find a way through though, up into the next right? There's Frossard, he's there in 5th position. And Osborne there in 6th position as well. So the bike at Cosworth Yamaha rider, Zach Osborne, having a good opening lap. Down in 6th at the moment. But over the far side of the circuit, Simpson and Roxon going around the outside. Will he get the power down here? He needs to get ahead of Simpson now under the Tecker Bridge, and he does so. He's first to reach the jump, clears the triple, and listen to that German crowd going absolutely bananas out on the banking here. So Roxon then goes past pit lane, and look at him pumping and working that Suzuki. Simpson there in second, Musquin third. So certainly after the disappointment of race, whoa, look at that! Van Hoorbeek off the bike, so he crashes out at sixth position, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Although he's stunned there momentarily, the 111 goes through of Hurlings. And here we are with Simpson now coming under attack from Stephen Frossard. So Frossard now moves up another position. And Simpson now finding himself back in around about, fourth, fifth place now. Sixth position even. That's Joel Roulant. He's having a good ride in seventh, so he's just found a way past Sean Simpson there. So Simpson now dropping down to eighth. So the hard-charging Roulant, really attacking the track, probably just a little bit too hard, and goes down himself. So Joel Roulant then, well, he needs to pick himself up off the deck here if he's to continue getting any points on the board. Marvin Musquin, 7 minutes to go, trying to close down the gap between himself and Ken Roxon, our race leader, but at the moment it's Ken Roxon, and he comes out of the final corners. He's going to take the checkered flag here, a man riding on a mission to rectify the mistakes from the first race when he had goggle problems, and look what it means to him. He celebrates in front of a German crowd. He wins the second moto here from Marvin Musquin, Zach Osborne, Stephen Frossard, Arnold Tonus, and Christophe Charlier there in sixth, and Van Hoorbeek in seventh. Good ride back from him then after that crash. Hurlings eventually dropping to eighth. Ninth was Sean Simpson on the Red Bull KTM, and Michael Lee on the Bud Rockstar Kawasaki down there in 10th. His first points of the season since arriving for the Portuguese Grand Prix back in, May. Musquin wins the overall though, takes another 6 points from Roxon. Osborne third, Frossard fourth, Van Hoorbeek fifth this weekend. And on the podium, Zach Osborne third overall, so he takes his third podium in as many Grand Prix does Zach Osborne after taking second in the US, third in France 2 weeks ago, and third again here. As Joachim Janka hands him his third place trophy. Second overall, Ken Roxon. He won't mind that too much because that was a good comeback ride for him. Gets his trophy from Gernot Kaufer. And the German crowd here really appreciative of his efforts in this second moto. Knut Michel, a former country president, no less, handing Marvin Musquin the winner's trophy this weekend at Teutschenthal. And Andre Herzog, the mayor of Teutschenthal, does the honours to Stefan Everts as winning manufacturer this weekend. KTM, of course. Stefan Everts representing them. And last but not least, the red plates still belongs to Marvin Musquin. He receives that from Farid Sunkar from Indonesia, who's the FIM CMS delegate this weekend. And after the national anthems, open the sparkly boys. Get into that party spirit. I know Ken Roxon will tonight, that's for sure. So Marvin Musquin then extends his lead. He's 77 points clear of Ken Roxon. Frossard third, Hurlings fourth, Osborne fifth now. Simpson dropping down to sixth. Jake Nichols up to 10th though. He's tied on points with Harry Koulas. And KTM continue to dominate here in the manufacturer standings. Suzuki is second, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda and TM down there bringing up the rear. MX-1 riders line up then. It was Commander Sal who took his first Love My Time pole position award of 2010. Savio Borg just behind him on the Kawasaki. That's twice second now in as many GPs. Guarneri was third. That was his best qualifying of the season. with Evgeny Bobashev in 4th and Philippart's 5th. Nagel was 6th, but Tony Cairoli way down the order in 13th after having problems in his qualifier. But off the line, the MX-1 riders go then. It's Xavier Borg on the factory Kawasaki, 1-2-1 ahead of Clement de Sal on that Suzuki. Then Guarneri up the inside of Philippart's. So the 2 Italians 3rd and 4th. And Ken de Dijker on his 26th birthday today, getting a good start in around about 5th, 6th position. We're on board going down the start straight with Matthias Walkner. And just trying to see, well, we've got the start being made from pretty much up the inside there. Number 57, Philips Neubauer. There's number 4, and that's Kevin Strybos, number 17. Tom Soderstrom as well, a little bit further back in the pack. But look at this, challenging for the lead. Clement de Sal up the inside of Xavier Borg, goes straight on in the corner though, can't stop for that tight left-hander just in front of that city banner, just as well as that bank was there actually, otherwise both riders would have gone straight through the advertising sign. So de Sal then leads on that Tekka Rockstar Suzuki. Borg there in 2nd position, applying the pressure, with Philippart's in 3rd on the Monster Energy Yamaha around the 4th, around the outside in 4th position, and Philippart's having a look up the inside, catches the rear wheel of Xavier Borg, and goes down. That allows Ken de Dijker to go through. And Nagel there in 5th position, challenging Philippart's, is he? Well, Philippart's just hanging on there, but despite breaking his collarbone 2 weekends ago, Max Nagel plated and bolted back together, having a good ride here. And there's de Sal. De Sal goes down on the uphill, and de Dijker very lucky not to catch him, so it looked like de Sal probably just lost his footing in one of the deep ruts there, approaching that corner, and dragged him off the back of the bike. And Ken de Dijker now challenging and passing successfully the 121 of Xavier Borg. So we have a Yamaha then leading Ken de Dijker on that Ritchie Yamaha. Borg in 2nd on the Kawasaki. De Sal on the charge again in 3rd though. There's Ramon and Tony Cairoli. And Cairoli slingshots his way around the outside of the Rockstar Tekka Suzuki rider. Cairoli bouncing his way through the wave section there, and that was for 6th position. But Ken de Dijker, who would have thought that then? Maybe it was the fact that he's 26 today, he's just needed something to celebrate. Well, he's certainly going to do that. He's going to pick up 25 points, a checkered flag, and gives it a big old knack over the finish line jump to pick up his first win of the season for him and also for the Ritchie Yamaha team. Can he do it again though in race 2? Well, that's the big question of the day. De Dijker wins then from Philippart 2nd, de Sal 3rd, Borg 4th, Nagel, Cairoli, Ramon and Evgeny Bobashev on the CAS Honda down there in 8th. 9th place was Kevin Strybos, First Spoon Suzuki, and Tanel Leok on the LS Motors Honda in 10th. MX-1 race 2, and it looks like a Red Bull KTM heading through turn 1. It's got a white number plate on it, so that can only be Max Nagel. Much to the delight of the German crowd here. He's got Tony Cairoli, his teammate, just behind him. Xavier Borg, another good start for him on the Kawasaki in 3rd. There's Tanel Leok. So Leok getting caught going through turn 3 at the top of the hill. It almost looked like he saved it, but then got tagged right at that crucial moment. And Tanel Leok having to do a lot of work. We've got somebody down through turn 2. Can't see who that is, but at the moment, Xavier Borg there in 2nd. 3rd is Cairoli on the 222. Here we are on board. And that's Rui Gonçalves, 22. 222 over to the right is Cairoli. Takes a look across. And Tanel Leok was right in there, just behind the Suzuki and the Kawasaki of de Sal and Borg. There's Guarneri. He's in 8th place on that LS Motors Honda. But up front, this is the battle for the lead. Max Nagel, number 2 on the Red Bull KTM, heads under that rebootizer bridge past pit lane. He knows he's got his hands full here because Xavier Borg has been on a charge in this German Grand Prix this weekend on that Kawasaki. Cairoli, well, he was there 2nd for a moment, but he's had to give way to the 121, who then charges up the inside of Max Nagel to take the first spot in this 2nd moto. So the Kawasaki of Xavier Borg leads then from France. Nagel, though, going around the outside in 2nd, but now he comes under pressure from Tony Cairoli, who looks like he's going to find a way through in this left-hander, as he knows. But only a matter of time, surely. So Nagel riding through the pain barrier, Cairoli looking up the inside again, and now he has found a way through. But look at that. DeSalle through as well in third. So Nagel fourth, Ken de Dijker again in fifth. Now, is he lurking dangerously, or is Ken going to have one of those weekends? Well, there's DeSalle in second. And Cairoli managing to get through into third. So Xavier Borg now. He drops back. So actually, Commander Sal is our race leader. But Ken de Dijker, he is on a charge here. He's found his way past Xavier Borg into third position. He's got Cairoli and DeSalle ahead of him. And as far as the overall goes, well, there's Matthias Walkner on that Hillinger KTM. But de Dijker, he is in third. He needs to pass Cairoli. And Commander Sal, although I'm sure if he stays where he is, he'll be on one of the steps of the podium at the moment. A little too early to say. But Ken de Dijker, though, he's found a way past Commander Sal. So that will be 50 points for him. Cairoli, though, trying to go around the outside of Commander Sal. De Dijker has about a 6 or 7 second advantage over Cairoli. He forces a move on Commander Sal. So Cairoli moves into second and pushes the Belgian into third place. The gap as we came over the line to start the last lap was about 3 seconds. Cairoli's lap time leading into that lap was 3 seconds quicker than Ken de Dijker. And here he is with about a half a lap to go. He's reduced that gap to about 1.5 seconds. So Tony Cairoli on form here on this final lap. He's setting all the fastest splits around this circuit, looking to set the fastest lap of the weekend in this final moto. And de Dijker, he knows that Cairoli's there and charging, but he knows he's also got a handful of corners in which to maintain that lead. He tries to get maximum drive on the downside of the staircase, but look at Cairoli pushing all the way through. We've got about 4 corners to go. Cairoli goes to the inside, gets good drive and good distance. Coming into, 3 corners to go. And this one's going to go all the way to the checkered flag, quite literally. Cairoli just running out of time, though. De Dijker getting the power down on that Richie Yamaha, and it's a drag race to the line, and de Dijker comes over the line 0.2 of a second quicker or ahead of Tony Cairoli to take a second race win here this weekend and wins the overall Grand Prix. Cairoli pats his mate on the back and says, good job, well done. I know you rode hard for that because of how hard I had to ride, is how Tony Cairoli will look at it. But de Dijker wins a second moto from Cairoli. DeSalle third, Borg fourth, Philippart, Guarnieri, Nagel, and another good ride for Evgeny Bobashev on the Cass Honda. Steve Ramon ninth this weekend, riding with a damaged arm, and Gareth Swanepoel 10th. Overall in the Grand Prix, though, the birthday boy, 26 today, picks up 50 points. Ken de Dijker for the overall victory. DeSalle second overall, and Philippart third. Cairoli just missing out on that podium in fourth, ahead of Xavier Borg, who was fifth this weekend.